Giorno Giovanna is a pretty divisive character, with some struggling to decide if he's a well-written one or the worst JoJo of the lot. Bearing this in mind, I implore anyone who's undecided on his character to take a look at the Entering the Gang arc, which is one of my favourite Vento Aureo arcs, which sadly seems to get overlooked by the other greats of the part. So, why does it work? Let's find out. Starting off with Meet the Gangster Behind the Wall, since its 2 chapters tie in perfectly with the main arc, Polpo is a very interesting character to meet. He immediately stands out due to his stature, but there's more to him than just being a wacky looking guy. Passione was a relatively unknown organisation to the reader, so seeing Polpo in his cell does a good job of showing the influence they have over the wider government, highlighting just how big a deal the mafia is. The true nature of the test once revealed is also a really clever way of bolstering the threat of the organisation, as essentially every user is going to have a stand, giving the reader a good idea of the threats ahead. I also liked seeing how structured the organisation was, with Polpo having an official role as a recruiter, and it kept me excited to see what other oddities Passione would have in store for us as Giorno works his way to the top. Black Sabbath is an enemy that ticks all the boxes in what a remote stance should be, as its repeated phrases are intimidating and it's insanely strong. Seeing the upper hand it initially has is pretty interesting, since this is the first time we've really seen Gold experience struggle in a fight. The ability of moving in the shadows is a fairly simple one, but works well due to the sunset adding another level of tension to the arc. The pairing of Koichi and Giorno is an entertaining one, as it's unusual for us to see Koichi be the more experienced stand user, and having him give explanations to Giorno shows how far he's came since part 4. It isn't a very long battle, but the versatility of Gold experience is shown throughout, whether in the fight or when Koichi is searching Giorno's room, and I feel like one of the main purposes of the arc was to flesh out all aspects of his character. The ending gives Giorno some clear characterization, which is one of my favourite things about the arc. Up to this point, it's hard to tell what kind of character Giorno is, which is something that Koichi states as well, acting as a kind of reader insert with similar thoughts to what we're thinking. The ending, however, solidifies him as having the same kindness that the rest of the Joestars have, and in a way, while the arc was a test for Passione, it's almost like it was a test to see whether or not Giorno inherited the Joestar bloodline. This is honestly one of his best moments due to the gorgeous panels and impactful dialogue. On the other side of the spectrum though, Polpo's death showcases the darker side of Giorno's character which he inherited from Dio, and seeing that fat fuck blow his brains out was honestly as satisfying as the best beatdowns part 3 had to offer. It demonstrated Giorno's silent raids perfectly, and I really like how well this arc manages to show both sides of him, with his sense of justice being clearly outlined through his ending dialogue. This character cares for those who are innocent, but if you're against him, get ready to die a gruesome death. Overall, this arc does a good job of familiarising us with the new main character as well as giving us a stellar fight, and that is why it works. Thanks for watching folks. I'll see you next time.